Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So the iPhone 14 Pro Max in deep purple, the most popular smartphone on the planet at the moment. Let's unbox it quickly. So here it is. I really wasn't sure about this color, and purple is not really my choice of colors for an iPhone, but wow, it looks stunning. Also inside the box, a non-braided USB-C to Lightning cable, documentation, and a single non-color coded Apple sticker. Plus the SIM ejector tool. Yeah, I need to show it this time because guys in America are out of luck as they get the phones without the SIM trays. But here in the UK, thankfully we still have it. Back to the purple iPhone. Under certain lights, the metallic effect makes it look like grey. But that purple is really present. You can definitely make it out. And in typical Raavmedia style, here's everything that I could find in my home which have similar shades, so you can get a better perspective on how deep and dark that purple really is. Now the other cool factor of this phone besides the purple color is on the front, and that is the dynamic island. That pill-shaped cutout instead of the notch, and right away that's a sight for sore eyes. I've been seeing the notch since 2017 and iPhone 10, so this new pill-shaped cutout feels like a breath of fresh air. And Apple just doesn't stop there. They make the otherwise static dull area totally spring to life with their cool animations, displaying notifications about current tasks. Yes, plural guys, tasks, like the current music playing along with the timers which you are running, or taking calls, or connecting your AirPods, or charging, even toggling the mute switch. Everything now has a cool pill-shaped animation to go with it. And tapping on the pill takes you to the app, or long pressing the app will open the widget right there for more control. It really is a cool and useful way, so I can see why everyone is simply loving it. And third-party apps and developers are just getting started. Here's a cool brick-style game called Hit the Island, where you hit the pill as many times as possible. Or this app called Apollo for Reddit, where a small animal gets to hang out on the pill whilst you read your content. I simply can't wait to see what more developers are going to come out with. And if you closely look at that pill shape, it's made out of two cutouts. So the space in between them is also utilized to show you privacy related green or orange dot for when an app is using your camera or microphone. So that entire area is very well defined. And despite shrinking from a notch to a pill, this cutout still hosts the undefeated champion FaceID, which works exactly as before. And the selfie camera also improved as it now gets the goodness of the photonic engine. So your selfies are going to look awesome. Few things I've noticed about the dynamic island. It doesn't work in landscape orientation, but when you pull down for reachability, it still works. Also, when watching content, you do have spillover like this, where before with the notch this didn't happen because the notch was fixed at the top. But it really doesn't bother me, and I'm glad that this is a step away from the notch, and the phone definitely feels more modern. The other cool thing about the screen is the ability to keep itself always on. Yes, Android did this forever, and it does affect the battery life horribly, especially on my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold, so I keep it turned off. But here, Apple does it with flair. See how it just dims off and the clock comes into prominence with the wallpaper dimmed out, but it is still visible. Very subtle, but very effective. And yes, it does affect the battery by a tiny bit, but I'll have to test it out further, and I'll post in my detailed review on how much of a battery drain that always on display is going to be. So for all that and much more guys, please do subscribe, support my channel, and I'll keep making these videos for you. And coming back to the always on display. You can turn it off if it's not needed. And here is how bright it looks in a dark room. So be mindful at cinema halls and other dark environments. I wish Apple gave us control to adjust the brightness of this dimmed screen, but as of now, it's not there. Hopefully, Apple will add it in future. It's been a day since I've been using it, and this feature is really awesome. I love the always on display, but for the first few times, you almost feel like the phone didn't turn off. But after a brief adjustment period, I simply love it now. The next cool upgrade which you get is at the back with the camera module. The main sensor is now a whopping 48 million pixel sensor with increased 1.78 aperture from last year's 1.5. See guys, lately camera systems on phones have gotten so good that I really can't nitpick on them. This time around, the 48 million pixels gives you a 2x optical zoom situation without working with the digital zoom system, giving you much better shots. Now the pictures shot are still at 12 million pixels, but you can shoot them in full 48 million pixel resolution by turning the Pro RAW mode on. And if you do so, you'll get a raw picture with amazing after editing capability. But the size of a single shot will run you over 60 megabytes. So guys, let's leave this to the pros and stick with the defaults. The ultra-wide and telephoto lens also got improvements, and my favorite macro photography got even better this time around. You also get decent second generation sensor based stabilization on this phone, and the action mode is quite something. It does reduce the resolution, but still it's amazing at how sturdy the footage is. Here's the footage shot with the action mode turned on the 14 Pro Max, and here it is on the 13 Pro Max. As you can see, the difference is absolutely amazing. Then the cool and fun cinematic mode also now gets bumped to 4K resolution, supporting up to 30 FPS. And the final thing about the camera is adaptive flash, which is pretty cool and will flash the exact amount of light required based on your lighting conditions. Moving on from cameras, the next upgrade is that A16 Bionic chip under the hood. A new chip always feels welcoming, and that adds to the upgrade points. And it is even impressive as this is one of the world's first processor based on 4nm architecture. But again guys, Apple Silicon has gotten so amazing that the performance jump which you see compared to last year's is not record shattering. But it is incremental for sure. And lastly, with the upgrades, this phone also gets the ability to perform emergency satellite connection in dire situations where you don't have cellular signal. Plus, it also has car crash detection, which let's hope that we'll never have to use them. Now, things which didn't change or improve. The phone still has the same lightning port, which still works on the USB 2.0 technology, so no faster data transfer rates. Fast charging also didn't improve this time, and it stayed the same. So did the base storage, still at 128 gigabytes. It's really a shame that the non-Pro iPhones base storage has been bumped up to 128 gigabytes this year, but the Pros stayed the same. Also, Apple gloriously announced no price increase, but this is only for the US. The UK did see a price increase. So in conclusion, the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max has seen substantial upgrades over the non-Pro iPhones, more so this year than any other, and the extra cash which they demand seem totally justified in comparison. I'm really pleased with this iPhone and the color as well. But for those who don't want to jump onto the purple ship, there is space black and silver as well, and those colors look amazing as well this year. My previous iPhone is the 13 Pro Max, and it has been the most reliable iPhone that I've ever owned. And I'm pretty confident that this iPhone will continue that tradition. And coming to who really should upgrade to this iPhone, well guys, iPhones have gotten so much better of late, and it doesn't make much sense to upgrade them every year unless money is not an issue. I personally feel that everyone who's still on the XS or earlier can think of upgrading to this phone, as iPhones in general saw substantial upgrades both in terms of processors and cameras after that. And for the rest, unless you are in love with that dynamic island, I suggest look at last year's iPhone 13 Pro phones, as you might find them for a lot cheaper, and the 13 Pro is still an amazing phone. I've made a 1 year later review of that iPhone. I'll leave a link down below if you wish to check it out. So that's it for the video, guys. There are more cases and accessory videos coming down your way, so please do subscribe, support my channel, and if you like this video, hit that like button as well, so YouTube algorithm will push my content to more viewers out there. And as always, thanks a lot for staying with me until the end. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.